Good evening. Hope everyone's well. Welcome to the channel where I share pretty much anything. As you can see, we're next to the Z here, and tonight I'll be trying to drop down the drive shaft. The only thing that's going to hold me up there, I think, is going to be an Allen key. Hopefully I've got the right size here. I've got a set there, so hopefully I'll be good. The drive shaft, it's a two-piece part. Let's imagine these sections of my arms as the drive shaft. I've got the front end here, the rear section, and in the middle here there's a sort of a universal join which allows some movement between the two. Down the back end where it connects to the diff, there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 or even maybe 6, I'm not sure. There's some cap screws or cap bolts down there, which I'll need the Allen key to take those off. And my research tells me that that needs to move out of the diff a little bit. How much a little bit, I don't know. The only way that's going to happen is, I think, is that joining universal joint section needs to come down a little. Round about here there's a bearing. I think that's just a matter of disconnecting the housing to the actual car, remove that, so that'll allow that to drop down. I'll have to jump in the car probably, put the shifter into neutral, and that'll allow me to rotate the shaft so that it can drop downwards. Otherwise we could be in a situation where it won't go down. It'll go that way but not down, so I'll need to rotate that. I'll also need to rotate it so that I can get to all the cap screw or cap bolts at the diff end. And transmission end, I'm not too sure what the go is there. I think that's just going to slide out a little bit like a PTO on a tractor. The previous video, what I forgot to mention there's a heat shield that needs to be dropped. Also, I should mention that on the front section of the two-piece shaft, the end that goes into the transmission, remember it's an automatic car, I can see that there's weights dotted here and there that are just stuck to that piece. That tells me that it's balanced. So I think I'll take note on just where that connects down the rear end, so that when it's time to put it back, they go in the same position and not, you know what I'm saying, since it's balanced. I don't know how they balance that. Does anyone know? Let me know in the comments. Do they balance that while it's fitted to the vehicle? Do they raise the car and let the thing spin up the wheels or something? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll get it balanced anyway. So let's get into it. I don't know if I'll take the camera under there. I do have some footage that I can overlay instead, and we'll see how we get on. Cool, let's get to it. Well, we did it. Drive shaft is out. It's quite an interesting coupling, that. Check that out. So I'll put a cross on here. I'm just going to say this for my own reference. I don't actually think it matters now that I see it. I'll put a cross on there to match up with a cross on this thing here. So put it back in the same way because I was concerned of the shaft being balanced, but now that I see all this arrangement, I'm not sure that it's going to matter, but anyway, I'll match it up anyway. I did notice as I was getting this down before these are actually loosened all the way, is try and turn the light around here. There's actually some movement in here. See that? Interesting. I actually, for a moment there, I thought this was going to pull out of there and leave this behind, but no. So there's some sort of rubbery effect in there. There's the universal join there, and as I suspected, this just slipped out of the transmission, no problem at all. And makes it even much easier now to detach the shifter. But before I do that, I want to get into the car and I'll put a note in there somewhere, move it to park or neutral or wherever, just move it to somewhere and make sure that this is in the same position when I reconnect it. Quite interesting. It's a toolbox holding the bearing that was there, that was in the centre there. All pretty much came out pretty much as I expected. A little bit of a concern.